Mhm. Absolutely, awesome. Perfect. Sure. Sure. So my idea here is to tell you what all we can do with Power BI, why Power BI is a buzzing tool in the market. Okay, so have you guys, have any one of you ever heard of Power BI? Anyone of you, or is that completely a new term for you guys? Okay, sure, guys, have you heard it? Anyone else? Okay, I think you've heard it. Okay, so here's a basic introduction of Power BI. Power BI, excellent, Debashish. Quite good. So, what is Power BI? Power BI is a business intelligence tool. Business intelligence means business visualization intelligence tool, which can help you visualize your raw data and make sure that you can get some meaningful insights out of it. Now, how do I get meaningful insights out of any data? Right? There's a challenge. Any data that I get as a Power BI developer or as a data analyst is always a raw data. Now, what do I mean by raw data? Raw data is a data which is not making any sense in itself, right? It will have faulty columns, it will have blockers, it will have different data types, it will have something or other which would break it or become a blocker in telling the data, in converting the data into a story. So to convert this raw data into a story, into a meaningful insight, we need a tool. We all need a tool. And as the need comes, so comes this in the market. This need of, converting raw data into meaningful insights is fulfilled by Power BI. Now there are many tools available in the market, right? Which deliver the same content, which deliver the same visualization tips and visualization infrastructure to many business. Why Power BI? What is so special with Power BI? What is so special with Power BI? The most important thing with Power BI is it is the tool of Microsoft, right? Now I assume that there's no one who wouldn't have ever heard of Microsoft, right? Microsoft. Bhanu, can you please close your video? Mute yourself and you can just close the video. Thank you. Why I'm saying this because so that there's no and I'm asking you guys to close the video so that there's no latency issues, right, on your part. It is really important that in this 1 hour of session you guys get and try and understand what exactly I'm trying to make you understand about Power BI, so that we all of us are on the same page, right, regarding the exchange of information. So why Power BI? Power BI is Power BI. Why Power BI? Because Power BI is a tool by Microsoft, and Microsoft when comes in the picture delivers a very powerful tool for you to take data from multiple, and when I say multiple it means 100, 200, 300 different data sources simultaneously, process it and then make meaningful insights out of it. So this in one single line of the reason why Power BI, because it can incorporate many sources of data simultaneously, and this is the key, simultaneously. We can connect 20, 30, 40, 50, up to 100, 200 sources of data simultaneously, right? And for that one particular reason, and the advancements which keeps on coming from Microsoft, we here are trying to learn Power BI, and that is the reason why Power BI is standing tall in the market for a decade at least, right? For a decade at least, and it has been there for almost a decade, and it has been standing tall. And when I say standing tall, it means standing tall with in comparison with the competitors like Google, like Tableau, and many others like Cognos, right? So there are different tools in the market used for different purposes, but one tool that can incorporate all the purposes of your business visualization need is Power BI. Hence, we are here to learn Power BI and to understand what Power BI can do for us and what all we as an individual can do with the Power BI. How can we, build different sort of projects, incorporate them in our resume and get a better job or achieve a job whichever we are looking for, right? Of course, at the end of the session, I'll tell you what is the average package of Power BI developer, how you guys can achieve that, what kind of projects we will be building, what will be the sectors we will be touching in this entire course, right? Let us begin, right? So, a couple of words here and there about me. I'm Parth Vishwa. I'm a business intelligence and data analytics professional. 12 years of experience, 10 plus, right? As mentioned here, mostly Power BI, SQL, Python, data modeling, ML development. These are my domain, area of domain, right? Currently, I'm working for a US-based client, a healthcare company, right, which deals with the mental and substance abuse, right? And apart from it, I enjoy teaching people what I'm learning. I prefer to what I'm learning. I mean, what I'm learning out of my experiences. I prefer to teach it and share my experience and my knowledge with people. Right. So here I am for you guys. Right. And the most special thing is, initially we were just learning. We were talking about Power BI, but in the last 2 to 3 years, we have some AI-driven tools which have been added by Microsoft in the Power BI. So we will be learning them also, how to use Copilot, how to use Azure technologies, and those multiple ML algorithms. I would give you a demo how ML algorithms work with Power BI. So you would get a bit idea of automation also, why Power BI and how Power BI and automation can work together. Okay, just I'm going to switch off your mics. Hello, hello, hello. Can you switch off your mic? Okay, thank you. Guys, I have a humble request. Um, can you guys hear me, right? Hello, anyone, everyone? Can you hear me? Yeah, please, guys. I know it's a weekend, but try to be attentive for this 1 hour. Please switch off your mics. Please switch on your mics only when I ask you guys to, or if you have any question to raise, right? The comment section is open, kept open, so you guys can just bring whatever you want to share your ideas there. But just for the better understanding and to keep discipline in the class, I would request each one of you. Yeah, I can definitely. I can definitely. Salman, I'm very, very sorry because I'm there's bit of I've been suffering from cold for last week, so there is a little bit of heaviness in my voice. Otherwise, I would have been much more louder. But yeah, I think it would be better right now. So yeah, just to ensure that we all are here for 1 hour session and to ensure that each one of there's nothing to be sorry about and there's no intervention by any of the other candidate in the in this learning process. Please guys, please switch off your mics and try to focus on what I'm trying to tell you guys, right? Because this 1 hour session can literally change your life. And I mean what I'm saying. So we sharing my screen and going back to what I was saying. So I was discussing something here, right? Yeah, I was telling a couple of things about myself. Uh, so see, this is what the problem is. We miss the flow of teaching. And what was I telling? So yeah, I was talking about myself, my experience, and then the domain knowledge I hold. I have been working with the healthcare industry, and in previous experience incorporates the finance and as well as the e-commerce industry. Now, why this information is important for you guys? This is important for you guys because when we will start building projects, I would want you guys to build multiple domain projects, right? Of course, the choice will be yours, which project you want to build. But having multiple domains on your resume will help you guys to get a better package, to get a better exposure to industries, and to get better opportunities by multiple industries, right? So, as I'm working in a healthcare industry, my preference would be to hire someone who is coming from healthcare industry, right? But if I see the person has experience, has a person holds projects from e-commerce, from healthcare, from finance, and from different verticals, right? From HR also. So that becomes my priority to hire that particular person. Now, why? Why I would prefer a person who has experience of multiple industries? Because when I am building projects in my company also, or whosoever is working, right? He has to deal with HR, he has to deal with finance, he has to deal with medical billing, he has to deal with finance, he has to deal with many different departments, right? Because we as Power BI developers, we as data analysts solve the problems and build reports for multiple departments, right? So the VPs of different departments, say compliance, say HR, say finance, directors of your company, who in whichever companies you are. So ultimately, these who are the end client of these reports, the directors of different departments, the vice president of different departments. They are your end clients, right? Once you be a Power BI developer, once you be a data analyst, The first person whom you will be dealing with will be your manager, and the second person you are going to deal with is the client, is your client, is your particularly the person whomsoever you are going to report in the company, right? For whom you will be taking the data and developing reports. So my first client, who was my first client, it was the HRVP, right? I was developing my first report. I was developing for her only. She wished to know, like, so basically we have a call taking metrics where we get multiple calls in our healthcare institute. So we have 4 to 5 to 20 30 people, right? 4 to 5, from 4 to 5 to 20 30 people. And my first project was to trace how many hours these people are investing in attending calls, right? How many are going converting how many calls are converting into missed calls, how many calls are being converting into leads, right? So these sort of information, this is the level of information and the depth of information you guys will be working on once you're a BI developer. I prefer to call it a BI developer, right? It sounds much more good, much more amazing. BI developer. And BI means business intelligence, right? So I wish you guys become BI developers. So it's an amazing job. Yeah. So what is Power BI? As I told you, it's a business intelligence data visualization tool developed by Microsoft, right? Can incorporate multiple data, Excel, SQL, Azure, Salesforce, SharePoint, think anything, any software out there, cloud technologies, AWS, whatever, and you can fetch data from multiple sources. So this is the interface. You can go to get data and see it on your own, right? These are the sources. Just look at it. These are the sources, right? Oracle, SQL database, IBM, MySQL, PostgreSQL, right? Google BigQuery, Vertica, Snowflake is so much used in analytics, right? I can't tell you how much Snowflake is used like anything, right? Data flows, data marts, warehouses, lake houses. These are the concepts of Microsoft Fabric, warehouses, lake warehouses, KQL databases, right? These are the concepts. Okay. As I told you, Azure. So see, Azure connectors are here. Okay. And let us dig deeper. If you guys have heard of Git and GitHub are very famous. So you can directly import data from GitHub. It is very helpful when you're using integrating ML algorithm. So yeah, GitHub becomes very easy, very handy in importing algorithms, right? So these are the connectors. When I say you can use multiple connectors, 200 of connectors simultaneously can pull data in Power BI. This is what I mean by it, right? Cognos, Cognite, Data, Azure Databricks. It is very famous tool in market. Databricks, right? Of course, it's an amazing tool. So you get you get to know how to use these tools, how to pull data from these tools, right? These is the power and the strength of Power BI. Why Power BI is being preferred by many company giants, many giants, many big giants across many industries, not just healthcare, finance, and e-commerce. Many industries beyond my level of imagination also, right? So you guys can go here, can explore it. Actually, how many connectors are here, and you can just simply choose any of them and connect. And of course, there's a process to it. We'll get to learn it later on. This is the idea to tell you that when I am putting it in this PPT, then you can use many connectors. You can connect to almost any data source. This is what I mean by what do you mean by connect to almost any data source, right? You can use APIs, you can use web pages, whatever you can think of, right? So this is what makes Power BI so powerful. Now, then comes DEX, that's the data analysis expression. This expression is used for calculations in Power BI. I'll show you guys later it on. Let us look at the curriculum. Whatever I'm going to teach you, whatever we are going to learn here is going to be in a defined fashion. And now what do I mean by defined fashion? I have a set of curriculum for 30 days, 40 days, and I've divided what I will be teaching on what days, right? A preference of how you will start learning things, right? That is simply what is curriculum. We'll start with the Power BI. We will start with Power Query. Okay, I'll tell you guys. So we'll start with the Power Query, then we'll go to modeling part. We'll go to the visualization part, and prior to it, we'll stand with the when we're doing the modeling part, we'll be doing the DEX part as well, right? The detailed curriculum will be shared with you guys in the coming days by the team, in which you'll get to know how we will be proceeding in for all 30 days. So that should not be an issue for you at all. Okay. Uh, having said that, having said that, let us look at the curriculum. So yeah, this is what is in the curriculum. Mostly we'll start with the Power Query. I'll teach you guys how to extract, transform, and load data using this. This is the Power Query. We will learn how to ETL. ETL is extract, transform, and load. We will learn how and what we can do with these buttons. How can we get data here? What are these steps? What all I have done here, right? How these multiple files I commented it here, and everything. These multiple buttons which you can say home, transform, add column, right? You will see all of it then and there only. Okay, cool. Uh, this is what it is, and then let us close this. Then we'll move to the modeling part. This is what modeling looks like. Data modeling. Data is being modeled. The tables which you have seen recently, these are modeled here. All the tables are modeled here, right? What do I mean by data modeling? What are these lines? How we are modeling these tables? How we are using, how the data is traveling from one table to another table, how the data is getting filtered. All these things we will learn, right? So this would be the second step of learning. I am, by the way, giving you the overview of entire data curriculum. I'm not giving you the in-depth data curriculum, which would be like day by day or hour by hour. So you will get to know it later on. But for time being, just to tell you guys, for you guys to visualize what actually you will be learning, you will be learning this. This is what is known as data modeling. Modeling, refining my data in ETL, refining my data using transform, using Power Query, which is known as ETL extract, transform, and load. But once when you've loaded data, what will you do next? You will model data. This is known as model data modeling, right? You would connect tables in a way that you would know how data will flow from one table to another and to another and to the rest of them. So that why? So that you can build this visualization. This sort of visualization is what is my end goal. This is the report. This is the report which I need to bring for my client. This is the kind of report which I need to bring. And to bring this report, I need to model my data. When once the modeling is done, you would be developing some calculations. Mm, These are known as steps. So if you guys see here, right, these are the calculations on the top. We will do some, these are very less calculations. I would want you guys to build roughly much more heavy calculations because I can't, of course, can't give all the calculations here in this demo session only. So I've chosen a bit easy project for you guys to showcase here. But of course, once when we'll be dealing with the actual data, we'll be doing some heavy calculations from absolute easy to absolute tough calculations. How and what it looks like, how can we manipulate data, right? So this is what it is. And once we are done with that, we'll go to this. We will come here and okay. So once we're done with this, we'll click on this publish button and I'll teach you how and what you can do on Power BI service. So Power BI service is one of the very important facility where you actually publish your data. You publish your reports. Power BI service is the ecosystem of an ecosystem within your company, right? I would write it here. An ecosystem within your company where you can share reports with the end user. Okay. So this is the place, Power BI service, where you publish your report, right, and share it with the client. Okay. And then Power BI Data Gateway. What do I mean by Power BI Data Gateway? So once this report is published, once this report is shared, these reports need to be continuously refreshed, right? Refreshed means new data keeps on coming in the market. New data keeps on coming on daily basis, right? The data is not going to remain same each day. It needs to get updated. So there's a method of connecting this report, of connecting report. I would write it here. Connecting report with the source. And for that, you need a bridge. The bridge is gateway, Power BI gateway, right? This gateway is the bridge. This gateway is the bridge which would connect the report with the source, right? And at last, we have Power BI mobile app. It is something new. It has new in the sense it is something old. But yeah, I would prefer to teach it and tell you how the how the report gets updated on the app, because many people are going to ask you in the interview how you are going to handle it. So initially, up till here, we used to teach up till here only Power BI service, data gateway, and desktop. But recently, people have started asking in the interview, what is Power BI mobile app, how we can use it. So yeah, nothing big thing, not at all a big thing. Simply whatever reports you have built, are going to publish it. You are going to update the app. But still, it is important for you guys to know for the interview, for the purpose of interview, how to use this Power BI mobile app. So I'll teach you guys, right? Come on, let's come here. So this is Power BI, Power connecting and transforming data from multiple sources using Power Query. As I told you, this is Power Query, this is transform data, this is Power Query. Now, what is Power Query and why do I need it Power Query? Right. So we have this ETL, extract, transform, and load. Right. Extract, transform, and load. What do I mean by this? I means I'm extracting data from multiple sources. Transforming, it means converting this extracted data, this entire big data, whatever I had, transforming into only that part of a data, or to refining it in a way that I can use it. And directly I'm loading it in the model, right? So this is what is known as ETL, and it is the ETL tool of Power BI. ETL, okay, extracting, transforming, and loading into the model, as simple as removing, filtering rows, columns, right? Changing data types. Important to know what all data types are there. Three data types are there, and so on and so forth. Right? Merge and appending queries. How you can use multiple tables all together simultaneously. Merge them. Pivot and unpivot. I have a very special project with respect to pivot and unpivot. How how we can use the forms data. Right? Once I'll be teaching you. I'll teach you how to use the data received using forms. Right? To convert into meaningful insights, and for that you need to know pivot and unpivot, right? So this is the biggest use case, Microsoft Forms, of pivot and pivot. Splitting columns, replacing values, group and summarize, very important tool, very important thing to know. How to summarize, and group the data, so that once you are writing a DAX query, it becomes easier for you. You don't get confused in the multiple columns, right? So on and so forth. Again, these are quite simple things, but again, these are very important things. Parameters for dynamic queries, right? Naming and cleaning data, sorting data, extracting data, each and everything. Whatever things are written here, they are nothing. They are no nothing like out of the box things. They are simply taken from here. As simple as that. You go to transform data, you log into Power BI, you go to transform data, and all these buttons, transforms, add columns, right? Whatever these things are there, as simple as it. Only these buttons, see index column, duplicate, condition column. This is what I wrote here, right? Index, transpose, split index. So my idea is to teach you this entire ecosystem, how this is functioning, right? How I am getting data, right? Add column view. How can I use this column distribution? How can I use column profile to understand my columns, right? Column quality, monospaced, right? These multiple tools. Why I'm being given this start diagnostic? What can be the possible use of it? How do you use it in the real time? What will be the point in building a report where you would need to use it? So we'll try to understand each and everything. So here, if you see on the absolute right corner, you see R, when R script, I run Python script. This is used when you want to do some sort of automations. For that, you need to know Python. So yeah, eventually, if you don't know Python, I will teach you. I'll give you a model. I'll give you a sample. You can run it and observe how things are happening using this Python script. So yeah, this is what I mentioned here. So these data is nothing but the entire Power Query ETL ecosystem. I just teach your entire ecosystem so that you are able to transform data as per the client needs, right? Then comes the modeling part. Modeling is very important for you guys to understand how my data, which I have cleaned, which I have refined, will flow from one place to another. How this entire data, let me close it, right, close. How this entire data, all those tables in which I have done some sort of cleaning, some sort of refining. I have added columns, I have deleted columns, I have appended table, I have done this and that and whatnot, right? How these tables are gonna get connected with each other, right? So when I'm selecting type, when I'm so you see when I'm selecting year 2020, it is changing. these calculations are changing. This name is getting changed. For 2021, this name is getting changed. For 2022, this name is getting changed. That graphs are getting changed. How this is happening? Because in the model view, I have connected this calendar table with multiple sheets, right? If you can see, it is connected with multiple sheets here. So on that basis, we are able to make these sort of calculations here. If I just simply delete, if I delete these connections with the calendar table, you won't see anything changing here, right?
Hello,
So this is what is,
Piyush.
yeah.
Sorry to interrupt. We can just see at least I can see only the presentation screen, not the other screen that you are showing with if there is any other screen, the working screen.
Same here.
Majan,
Only the
can you,
PPT is
okay, so you guys would have just told me this bit earlier, maybe, okay. Krish, can you please
Sharing
close
screen.
your screen? The
So
host, can you just, okay, let me do it. Cancel it. Okay, just wait for a second. Thank you so much for telling me this, because this shouldn't have happened. Now, if this has happened, okay. Can you see it now?
uh, yeah, we can see it.
You guys can see. Thank you so much for pulling it out, for being alive in the class. Thanks so much. Yeah. Chalo, pull to, yeah, chalo. Absolutely fine. So what I was telling, I was trying to convince, I was trying to tell you guys, basically, when I'm talking about Power Query, this is the transform data. This is the ETL button, right? Right. This is the ETL button here of transform query. And once you come here, whatever you guys are able to see here, can you see this PPT? Okay.
No, we can
So
just
guys,
see the screen now for the with the tables.
okay, absolutely fine.
So are you sure you're sharing your full screen like when you move the tabs?
So my problem is this. For some reason, Zoom is not doing exactly what I wanted to do. Let me reshare it once
Hmm.
again.
Yeah,
Yeah,
please.
because it should be showing it to you now, correct? You should be able to see this Power BI report which I have opened here.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, that's the
and you
Power
should
BI
be able
report.
to
Yeah,
see
yeah.
the PPT as well.
Yeah, now we can see the PPT. Yeah, I can see.
Okay,
Yes.
okay, cool. Basically, what I was trying to tell you guys, this entire curriculum which is written here on the Power Query ETL ecosystem, right? This entire ecosystem, this is these all things, all these columns, all these ideas, all these table of content, they are nothing but these buttons. They are these buttons, right? These different buttons. When you go to home, when you go to transform, when you go to add column, when you go to view, when you go to tools, when you go to, right? You get to see these multiple things. You get to see yeah, you get to see this R1 script, you get to see R Python script. What are these? I'm going to use it? How I'm going to put it on my data? How can I use this transpose, resource, contours, right? How to automatically detect the data type? So these table of content is nothing but the buttons. This entire ecosystem, as I wrote it here. My idea is to teach you how to use this entire ecosystem so that you can utilize it, change the data as per the client needs, as per the end user needs, right? This is what my idea was to tell you guys. Having said that, I would move further to the data modeling part. When I moved to the data modeling part, we were dealing about the data warehousing concepts, modeling, OLTP, OLTP, starts from flex schema. Now, what all these things are? These things are nothing but this modeling. Okay, let me show you what modeling is. This is what modeling looks like, right? all those tables which I refined in the previous step in the Power Query in the ATL, I've made certain changes, right? I don't want all of the columns. I don't want all of the data. I know what is the end result. I know the what is the end requirement of my user. And as per that requirement, I am molding my data in converting my data into certain data type into certain columns and keeping only those required columns in my ecosystem, right? But once I'm done with that, what next? I need to make some meaningful insight out of it, right? When I am switching, when I am switching from one day to another, one year to another, see, when I'm at 2020, I'm getting some data, a different data. When I'm click on 2021, the data gets changed. On 22, data gets changed. How is this happening? This is happening because this calendar table is filtering something, right? Is connected with these multiple data. If you guys see, if you guys can see it much more clearly, see these lines, right? This calendar table is connected via these lines to the other tables, right? And that is what making me do the filtration. This is what is known as filtration, the sorting, right? I'm able to sort based on years, based on dates, based on quarters, whatever I want to. I can give multiple parameters here, and then we can keep on changing things, right? So this is my idea of telling you that data modeling, idea of data modeling is how one table, how these multiple tables will be connected with each other in using relationships, using cardinalities, and then we can make some meaningful outcome of this data, right? Now, a very, very important part of this data modeling is DEX, right? I have the columns with me. I have refined my columns. I had raw data. I got the structured data out of it. I ensured that I have limited tables. Okay, I ensured that I have limited tables. Now what? I have connected my tables. But post doing that, I need to add some calculations, right? I need to add some calculations. If you can see it here, KPIs, key processing indicators, right? Like total cost, total order, total profit, total return, total revenue, previous month orders, and so on and so forth. So these calculations are written with the help of a language known as DEX, data analysis expression, right? These can help you do as simple as addition, and these can help you write some really, really complicated scenario-based complicated calculations, which can filter data on data and provide you with some sort of output which is required in building a graph, in building a histogram, and building whatever, right? So these calculations, if you can see here, uh, date and time functions, some very, very important date and time functions, filter function, text function, logical and mathematics text, right? So we have roughly 200 decks, 200 plus decks. I'll be teaching you these 40, 50 decks, right? 40, 50 most common slash important decks. Rest all these 200 are nothing but the permutation and combination of these 50 decks. So my idea would be to teach you these 50 decks, right? Calculate if you can see it somewhere. Calculate the filter function is the heart of Power BI decks. If you don't know calculate, you can't do anything else, right? So to know calculate is very important. Having said that, I'll be teaching you these 40, 50 important decks, right? And then once you once you have a grip on how to use this text, how to understand the requirement and which text to use, how to use which text at what point of time, you would be able to utilize them at different point of time with respect to the requirement. Please guys, focus on this word requirement. Whatever we do as a Power BI developer, as a data analyst is focused completely based on the requirement we are getting from our client, manager, whosoever. Whatever request they are sending to us, whatever business document they are sharing with us, we are gonna mold our data based on that only. So this is the key of entire Power BI ecosystem. What are your requirements, right? Okay. Then we have multiple visuals, we have RLS, we have optimizing, many optimizing techniques, we have publishing sharing, as I told you. So what is it, right? So let us, okay, so we have time, yeah, we have time. We see multiple visuals here. You guys see multiple visuals. This is the visualization pane. This entire is the visualization pane. If you guys can see this, this is entire where I am moving my cursor. This is the visualization pane. And here you can choose whichever visual you need to use. So there's one very simple little thing that you can just click on a visual, right, and put something on x-axis and then put something on y-axis. But then there's a method to it also, right? When you know in depth when I need to use the line chart, when I need to use the uh, bar chart, clustered bar chart, or the column chart, right? When you know it clearly, when I need to use the pie chart, when I need to use the donut chart, how can I do some drilling in the donut chart? How can it be very, very helpful when I need to use the GOG chart? So if you guys see it here, if I've done it in this particular report or not, I don't know. But let us check it. Okay, let me zoom it out. I think I have done it. I think I have done it. Yeah, where is the GOG chart? So you see, we have a benchmark of 764 and my numbers are prior to it, right? This is done using GOG chart. This is done using GOG chart, and I'll teach you this how to do it. This is something really amazing. We have done something like this also. So you see, we have this 134 positive number, and for some numbers, yeah, you see, it is completely changing into a red number, or it is showing that we are not up to the mark. Now, how this is done? This is a visual. This is a one particular visual, and then we have done some sort of formatting. We have done some sort of formatting in the inside of it, right? Which is ensuring that whether we are reaching our goal, we are not reaching our goals, right? So these are known as the KPIs, key performance indicators. These are the KPIs which my manager wants to see each day, every bloody other minute. What is the top one product which has been sold in the last 1 hour? What is the top one product which has been sold in last 10 days? Whatsoever, right? So these KPIs, we use these visuals to build the KPIs mapping, right? As simple as that. Nothing much about it, but these simple things can be very, very useful when understood properly. And when we do some condition formatting, by condition formatting, I don't mean colors. By condition formatting, I mean applying conditions on numbers to particular visual. Why? Okay. So having said that, maybe the target for this particular month is 500 and we have achieved 560. So it should be in a green. We have achieved 400, it should be in a red. We have achieved 400, it should be in a yellow. We have achieved 200, it should be in a red. So this multiple way of filtering my data and putting colors here on the visual is what my idea of conditional formatting is. And that is what we will learn here, right? Applying DAX, I told you how to you'll be using DAX. These are KPIs, as simple as that, right? And then very important thing, implementing row level security. So my dear friends, we are 20 people here, right? Now I'm your manager, but I don't want you all 20 people to see the same report. I want five people to see the report for the northern region, the other five to see the eastern region, the other five for the west two regions, right? How do I categorize that which five will see what report, which five will see different reports, because you guys are looking at one report different from different angles. So maybe I'm looking at the sales report for the eastern region. Maybe some other person XYZ is looking for the sales report of western region. How this is being done automatically? The idea is this. That is done by using RLS, row level security, right? When I will ensure, when I will write a code, when I will do some sort of things, set up RLS in a way that Piyush can see reports, Parth can see reports, Shruti can see reports for Eastern region. When I'll say Aman can see reports, Vishal, Adnan, XYZ person can see reports for the Western region, they would get to see reports only for the Western region. That is what is known as RLS, right? And then we have optimizing techniques. We will be discussing how can we optimize our Power BI report, what all can we do to optimize our reports, right? Hence, the last one would be the Power BI service, as I told you. So, in a short way, this this looks like the entire curriculum to be, right? How and what can we do on Power BI services? How are the workspace managed? How the workspace and the rights are managed, because we have different level of rights for different people, right? So, so on and so forth. These are the AI features, and the most important here is the anomaly detection and the Copilot. So I have developed couple of projects for Copilot as well. How you can use Copilot, it can write text for you. It can help you some solve. It can help you solve problems up to certain levels. We will discuss it till what level Copilot is helpful for you, and at what point of time you should stop using Copilot. We will discuss both of things, right? It is important, but you can't get dependent on it. You can't think it is going to write all the formulas for you. Okay. And then we have Q&A visual Power BI AI. You can do some question and answering with the Power BI directly, discuss with it what sort of visual you need it, what are your requirements, and then it can tell you whether you want to use that visual or not. So, but to choose a visual and to finally use it or not is going to be your choice, right? So yeah, then comes the capstone project. Capstone project is nothing but a project where I will be sharing data with you and I'll ask you guys to make a project. I'll give you a BR document. I will give you a BR business requirement document, BR document. It will have requirements, KPIs, and couple of more information which I can't share here. Okay, so plus data. You will get access to data also, and you will build the capstone project which you can use in the resumes also. And I'll tell you, of course, I'll tell you how to, showcase a project on LinkedIn, on Git, how to use it in multiple fashions so that you attract more and more opportunities for yourself, right? Who will benefit most from the course? The one who is studying hard. As simple as it, guys. This is gonna be a very, very big, very long journey. This is gonna be a simple journey though, but benefit. It can benefit only a person who is really interested in learning Power BI, who is interested in understanding this particular vertical of business intelligence. How can you use the raw data to convert some meaningful insights out of it? If you're a fresher, you can expect for yourself something between 6 to 12 LPA. If you're an experienced IT professional and if you feel that you are facing some sort of, you know, you are lacking on your skills, it is an excellent opportunity to start with Power BI. And from my perspective, anyone and everyone who wants to take entry in the world of data can learn Power BI. So, having said that, given this presentation, this the podium is open for you guys. If you guys have any questions, please you guys are free to ask them. I'll stop the share. Okay, let the share with you. You guys have any questions? Or
Hello, sir.
hi guys. Yeah, yeah,
Hello. Yeah, Naveen
yeah.
here,
Please
sir.
tell your name. Yeah, please tell your name.
Yeah, Naveen, sir. Yeah.
Okay, Naveen. Yeah.
Sir, as you mentioned in the earlier of the session, sir, you mentioned about Power Query editor, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, what actually we can able to do, sir, in Power Query editor? Like, what I understood means converting unstructured data to structured data. Likewise,
Right.
you said, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
So
So
now my
Naveen,
question is like, yeah, my question is from unstructured data means how it looks like, sir. I'm saying about like, can you show us like structure unstructured kind of data in how can able to import from data source using the
So, Naveen, the thing is this, unstructured data, what does it mean? No, of course, my proprietary data, I cannot show it in the demo session here. Of course, I won't do that.
okay,
But just to give you an idea, what is unstructured data? What is structured? What is structured? Structure means I have a table that says path, that says Naveen, gender, male, male, Shruti, female, right? This is a structured data.
yeah,
Structured data is something which is giving meaning to you, right? Unstructured data
yeah,
is not giving any meaning to you. So you can have a
okay,
different data type column. So for an example, you need date and time, you need only date, you need date, time, and day. You need so many things. But for few columns, it is okay. So for few columns, suppose we have 1,000 entries, okay, of different names. Now for few columns, male and female is there. For other few columns, male and female is not there. That is empty.
okay.
So what will you do? You
Oh,
cannot leave it empty. That is unstructured. That is one example of data being unstructured. You will have to
sir,
think.
yeah, I
Mhm.
mean, you mean to say like some missing values if there means is called it as unstructured
No, no,
data,
no, 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 no. That is an
like
example. That is an example of
okay,
unstructured data. Missing values
okay,
is not unstructured data. It is an example of unstructured data, right?
okay, okay, okay. Yeah,
That data which is not in a completely fashion which can be utilized by you is unstructured. As simple as that. It can have missing
Okay.
values. It can have anomalies of different types. It can have
Okay.
probably you are expecting an ABC column and you have got some numbers into it, so you have to change it. You
Okay.
are okay. So I'm working in IST or I'm working in EST and I've got data in IST that is unstructured for me. I need to put the data into EST, convert that data into
Okay.
EST, and then build my code. So see Naveen, when I say unstructured, let me say whatever I'm saying. Everything boils
Okay.
down to one end that data should be
Okay.
clean and crisp and clear, ready to
Okay.
be used.
So
If
it's
that
maybe
data,
like what I understood. Sorry for interruption, sir. What I understood means like it's maybe missing values are there, or else missing data types also is comes under the unstructured data only. What you trying to say, right?
I'm trying to say, and if you are not able to use the data
Okay.
as a last point of contact and move the data to modeling to production, it is unstructured. As simple as that.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
There cannot be,
Okay.
I
Okay.
cannot give you I cannot give you one specific definition of unstructured, that this is unstructured, this is not unstructured. One specific
Yeah.
definition would be if you are able to use this particular data in the modeling, it is structured for you guys. Right? If you're not able to
Okay.
use it
Okay.
in the modeling, it is unstructured. Why I'm saying that? Because if data is
Okay.
unstructured, Power BI will not automatically identify the what column is trying to type, right? So if you remember,
Yeah.
I showed you this. I showed you guys this particular. Let me show it to you once again. Entire screen. Share. I showed you guys this home, transform data, view. Okay. Can you see this monospace, show white space, column quality, column
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
distribution, column profile? Yeah. Power BI will automatically understand what a column is telling you. If
Okay.
Power BI is not able to understand what this particular column is telling me, it is not making any
Okay.
sense. It is unstructured for it. Right?
Okay.
Okay. Have I
Fine,
answered
sir.
you?
Fine. Got it. Yeah. Got it, sir. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Cool. Anyone else? Okay. So no questions. Okay. We have 16 participants here, guys. Anyone? Any questions? Any doubts? Anything
What is the
you would want to know?
duration of this course? How long it will take to complete?
Can you please be a bit louder?
How long it will take to complete?
35 to 40 days.
So is it a weekly classes or daily?
No, no, daily class. The classes won't be daily for this batch. I think it's gonna be a weekly batch. If it's gonna be yeah, it is okay. It is a weekend batch now. So yeah, 35 to 40 days. So 35 to 40 days is the case when we have 1 hour of class. We may have 2 hours of class, so we'll cover the entire session 2 to 2 hours, roughly 2 months. Yeah,
Roughly
the
2 months
idea is to
course.
cover it in 2 months.
Mhm.
Then we would segregate the classes into 2 hours class, or 2 hours of class for Saturday and Sunday each. Yeah, 2 into 2 would be 4, 60. Perfect. 4 hours on every weekend would be how much? 32 hours. Yeah. Anyways, 1 and 1.5 months. Even if the weekend batch would last for 1 to 1.5 months. That should be the maximum time it should take from my end to deliver the entire content. But when I'm saying 30 to 40 hours or 50 hours, I keep 10 hours in buffer, assuming that you guys would be encouraged enough to make multiple projects. Otherwise, if only I have to speak and you guys have to listen, 30 hours max. I'll complete the
Okay.
entire syllabus.
So
Yeah.
by end of January, you'll complete everything or you'll complete before January?
See, but it should be completed by the end of the December itself.
Oh,
By
December
the
itself?
1st January, you should be ready to go in market and
Okay.
apply for Power BI developer jobs. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Mhm.
Thank you.
Sir, in this program, like SQL also included or only Power BI only, sir?
Only Power BI.
Okay.
Yep. So we have 2 more minutes, guys. Anyone any question?
Yeah, I have one question, please.
Yeah, yeah. Please
Yeah,
tell your name and then you
yeah,
can.
yeah, my name is Arun. Actually, this Power BI, how it will be helpful for data modeling. Usually, data modeling we have separate tool, right? Erwin and some other tool in market. But Power BI, how it will be helpful to identify cardinality between two entities like that?
So I missed on your name. I'm sorry. Just but to answer your question, see, we pull data, right? I showed you the sources. We pull data from multiple sources, and then we are keeping only those relevant sources, relevant tables which are required for that particular project. So suppose I have a software that is known as Kipu. You can Kipu has uh, 1000 plus options to store data, right, on the different verticals. Now for my current report, I need only five tables. From a Kipu database, I need only five tables. Now tell me, sir, will I be pulling those five tables only, or should I pull roughly 1000 or 500 or 800 tables, all the tables from the database?
Yeah,
The
five
best answer
tables
would
will
be
be good.
yeah, I would pull those five tables only. When I will pull those five tables only, I need to do some modeling on it. I need to connect those tables, right? Using primary key and foreign key so that the data can flow from there, right? Hello, Arun?
Yes, sir, you are
Okay.
right. Yeah.
Yeah, we need, of course, now. So we need to do some modeling in those five tables also. For that reason, we have data modeling in Power BI. Okay. Have I answered you?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, sure.
Okay.
So thank you, thank you.
Yeah, yeah. Cool, guys. It is 8 o'clock. Any else question? Any other question, or shall I call on this class? Call off the computer.
Tomorrow, what do you plan to do tomorrow? We have class tomorrow or no?
You'll get updates on the WhatsApp.
Okay.
They are the host and they'll update you on WhatsApp, right?
Okay, sounds good. Yeah, thank you.
Just be active on the group and you'll get the updates there. Okay, guys. Assuming you had a wonderful time. Thank you so much for this weekend session. Have a great weekend ahead. Yeah. Thank you. Bye.